Time for a book chat on Wake Up Nigeria. Today we have Akanbi Taofeek, published author, multilingual writer, entrepreneur, public speaker, and traveler. And is currently pursuing a Master of Arts at the Islamic University of Minnesota. His recently published memoir, Everything We Love Goes Away, is one that we'll be talking about this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. Good to have you in the studio with us.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This book is dark, it's deep, and it's so many things rolled into one. What inspired Everything We Love Goes Away? What inspired it?
The inspiration behind this is that I feel like everyone has a reason to be heard. Everyone wants a sense of belonging. Everyone wants to have asylum at the point where, you know, talks about love, talks about success. These are things that people romanticize, that people want to have. But then when it's about heartbreak, people do not want to listen. And then people who go through these issues, this despair, really crave to speak it out, to have people listen to them and be heard. So that is, in a nutshell,
So
the
when
inspiration
when someone sees the book, the first thing they see is, oh, dear X, dear this. But then when you delve deeper, you begin to see other things that make you go, what was running through his mind? Because you could see from a female perspective sometimes, you could see from a male perspective sometimes, and sometimes you could just see from someone who is in pain. Take, for example, the first one, love is a force not to be forced.
Yeah.
It was, I would say it was a model of so many things. I feel it's something that I would probably have to reread to consume it better, to read better, understand it. What was that one particularly about?
I think what you said just now reminded me of things that I get all the time when people review my books and they are like, I have to read this over and over and over and over. So like, it's a beautiful thing. I think people should know when you're in love that even despite the fact that this person is beautiful or we have a beautiful relationship, it's not a must that we have to work by all means. So you need to like take a lot of things into account. This is a lifelong relationship. Are you sure you can deal with all of the scenarios, all of the things, the realities that are surrounding this?
And then there's this one of the boobs, I think. Yes, that one that talks about, curves and boobs, cursely blessed.
Yeah.
That one about somebody who everyone admires for the great figure, yet wishes people would see her differently. Why did you decide to talk about that in the book?
The thing is, like, across all of my publications so far, the same thing for Honest Butterflies, my debut publication. I talk about feminism, I talk about all of those things because I want everybody to be heard. Like, I recently performed this piece at an event in Ibadan, and then, like, a lot of people could narrate their experiences, women and men. And that, in a way, gave me a sense of fulfillment that objectification should not be in existence. It's a dilemma. It's something that should not occur to anyone. So the more we speak about these things, the more people are oriented about it, and they should stop doing those things. They should stop making people feel uncomfortable in their body. This is a gift. The existence is a gift, is a beauty. It's not to be a sex object or to be objectified by any means.
But there's a lot of anger in the Dear X. There's a particular Dear X, I believe it's by Blessing, who wished evil upon her ex. Now, you know how we talk about, okay, when people move on, it's always a good thing. Yes, you might not get back together, you don't have to be friends, but wish each other well. What was the story behind that? I feel like there was a story behind that particular one.
Yeah, this is somebody who she shrinked herself a lot in the relationship. She had dated this person for a long period of time, and she had envisioned her whole future, her whole career around this person. She began to adjust so many things to the point where she lost herself completely. She's not herself. She's only taking dictations from this other person that she's in love with, and just for an end game of, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And then the sudden heartbreak comes, and it comes in a very unexpected manner, and it's a lot of drama around moving around it. So this is somebody that Blessing would never forget, and she never see herself healing from that hurt. So that's the reason for the course and all of
So,
that.
the forward was talking about the exact incident that made you decide to write this book.
Yeah.
You're speaking to someone in a hospital.
Yeah.
You came in for diarrhea, and then the elderly man was trying to like speak to you. Unfortunately, you couldn't really understand what he was saying because he was speaking in French. And you said that moment was what influenced your decision to write this book. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, the thing is, certain times in our lives, we know that this thing, I have to do it. But then you haven't gotten that prompt or that incident that would say, okay, this is the time. Because as at 2018, I was depressed. I was out of love. I was heartbroken. I was depressed for a long period of time. And then I knew I wanted to write about it. I wanted to write about heartbreak. I wanted to desperately talk about this thing. I have a mic, I have a pen that I can speak. And when I speak, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for a whole lot of people that are experiencing the same thing. So I knew I wanted to do that. Right until that encounter with this elderly person. And then he was able to speak with me for that maybe 10 minutes. And he was able to express himself. Despite the fact that I could not understand what he was saying. But then he felt a sense of relief after saying all that he said. And I was just able to muffle with just a few words to kind of comfort him in French. The little words I understand, I could just probably comfort him. But then it's not about the words I speak. It's about him having the avenue to express himself. So for me, I feel like there are a lot of people that are going through trauma, going through pain.
Yeah.
In the book, you see a picture of a mother who lost her child.
Yeah.
There are stories along that is happening day in, day out. But then people do not get to hear this. People do not get the avenue to speak about the pain, to speak about the trauma, to grieve out, to see people who accompany them in this journey of grief. We all grieve. We grieve differently. But then when you know that you have people who share the same story as you, who share the same heartbreak, who share the same pain as you, somehow your burden becomes lightened and becomes softer for you. So that is like what prompted the decision to
Now,
start writing.
writers tell the stories of several people, make a book out of it.
Yeah.
However, one thing I've learned, and life has taught me, is that every writer also tells their story in between some lines. They might not tell their entire story in it, but there's definitely one or two, or maybe even five, that are your personal stories. In this book, which of them are your personal stories?
I believe this is a trap. It's a trap.
Because I have a feeling you are blessing, but it's okay. Which of them is your personal story?
I think there are many, and it's just like my stories scattered in between those letters.
Yeah, I could tell.
So
They're
in
deeply
different part
personal.
of in different part of the letters, and then it's like most importantly, it's not about me. I believe this is a selfless work, and I find joy and fulfillment in the fact that people could relate with it. Like I really feel happy when people reach out to me and be like, "It felt like you're talking about me. This chapter speaks to me so well. It felt like you had me in mind when you were writing it." That's what I want to hear.
What an invasive answer. Which one? Which one is you? Like, which one? Yes, there's the artistic influence, but which one is you?
There is a piece that says, "Dear Nifemi."
Dear Nifemi. That was her name? I think Dear Nifemi was here. Okay. All right. You know what? Let's head to the kitchen for breakfast.
All right.
Okay?
So-
And as we're having breakfast, you tell me more about Dear Nifemi. But Nifemi was her name, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. We're heading to the kitchen now.